Hey there, my crafty friends. It's Tammy Williams here with another episode of Paper Pumpkin. Woohoo! Every month I do an unboxing of this card making kit that I get in the mail. Um, when you become a subscriber to Paper Pumpkin, you get this box and it will contain everything that you need to make 9 cards. So let's open the box and I'll show you what's inside. I'm going to turn the light on here. I'm not sure how long this light is gonna work because I think the battery is getting a little low. There we go. But let me open the box. The box is nice and sturdy, so it's perfect for taking it on vacation, taking it on trips, going to, a retreat or over to a friend's house. The first thing you'll see when you open your kit will be your stamp set. Now, because this is the Fluttering Garden March 2026, every March we get 2 stamp sets, 2 for the price of 1, because it's the Paper Pumpkin anniversary. So this is really cool. When I saw a preview of this kit, because I'm a demonstrator, I can see a preview of what's coming. But for most people, it's just a little bit of a surprise. We know what the theme is, but we don't really know what to expect as far as the card design. But anyway, this one, when I saw it, was so beautiful. It has all these hummingbirds. So they've got 2 stamps of hummingbirds. I think you can see that. And then let me flip it this way. And then there's the word hello, and there's the words wishing you a happy anniversary, which I love that because you can never have too many anniversary wishes. There's one that says birthday wishes, a little flowery stamp set, and a little dot thing that you could use for dirt or something like that. I'll show you an alternative Paper Pumpkin card in a little bit that I use this to look like dirt below my flowers because there's some flowers in the other stamp set. This one here, these flowers here, I don't know if you can see those. Yeah, so there's these tall flowers and shorter flowers. And then we've got this little half circle flowery leafy thing that you could use to stamp it twice and make a circle and make like a wreath with it. And then here, there's another little flowery thing and then a couple more little dot things and then a little leafy thing. So yeah, like all my technical terms, it's hard to know what to call these. But anyway, 2 stamp sets for the price of 1. The next thing you see when you open your kit is your stamp spot. And this is your ink. And this month it's basic gray, which is a great color. And so these Stampin' Spots are much smaller than our normal size ink pads. I'll show you what the normal size ink pad looks like for basic gray here. So you'll see they're much smaller, but these are great for people that don't have a lot of storage space. So every month you'll get a new ink spot. And what I do is I just store them in one of these boxes that my Paper Pumpkin comes in. And then I have all my little ink spots all in one spot. And then as far as storing the stamps go, I'll show you how to do that in a minute here. So they always come packaged in some pretty tissue paper. Grab this here. Move this box out of the way. And here we have, it's got a lot of glare from this light. I think I'm going to turn the light off for a minute. There we go. Nope, that just softened the light. Try it again. There, now it's off. Okay, well, now it's really dark. Anyway, but once we open the kit, you'll get a better idea of what's in here. But let me grab my scissors and open the kit. So this is called Fluttering Garden March 2026 Paper Pumpkin. And let's just open this up and see what all the parts and pieces are that come with it. I want to do a special shout out to my granddaughter, Hazel. She is watching from Portland, Oregon. She's my all-time biggest fan for watching my videos on YouTube. Hi, Hazel. And let's see, get this open here. It won't be so much glare now if I turn this light on, see if that works a little better here. My finger's in the way. There we go. All right, so you'll see, well, kind of, here we go. That's a little better. There's one of the cards there with 3 hummingbirds and the words thank you. Here's another one with 2 hummingbirds and the words I'm so grateful for you. And then this one that says have a beautiful Mother's Day. Isn't that pretty? But you don't have to put that sentiment on there. You can put another sentiment if you like. Let me flip this over here. So the first thing we have here is some Stampin' Dimensionals. If you don't know what Stampin' Dimensionals are, they are double-sided adhesive with a little bit of foam in between. And you can use those to like pop up your hummingbirds, give them some added height and dimension. They're kind of a hexagon shape, and they've got a little backing on them. You just peel the backing off, and then the sticky part is underneath the backing. Then we've got some gems. Look at these cool gems. Aren't they fun? Those sparkly little gems. Got 2 different sizes. So we'll be using those little embellishments to finish off our cards in the end. And then we've got our envelopes. Look at these cool envelopes. Isn't that fun with all these flowers? And that matches the stamp. This stamp that came here. You'll see that the tall flowers and the short flowers are the same as the stamp. So the envelopes coordinate, and you have 9 matching envelopes that go with the 9 cards. And then here we have, oh my gosh, these butterflies are so pretty. Look at that. Look how gorgeous these are. When I made an alternative card using just the stamps and some of my own supplies, I watched a video of somebody else coloring them because I wasn't really sure what color to color a hummingbird. So why don't I keep talking about this card? Why don't I just show it to you here? So I colored his face and beak purple and green for the leaf. So part of the top part of the leaves, or bottom part of the leaves, I guess, and his body, and then a yellow stomach, and then kind of an orangey, pinkish for the wings. And then this was the flower stamp that I told you about, and I just stamped it twice. So it just stamped twice, and then you can see along the bottom here, I use those little speckles, that little speckle stamp, to make it look like dirt along the bottom. Can you see that? And then I just colored it with my coloring pencils. It is so much fun to color with coloring pencils. And then the blue background, I just used a blending brush, just a little blending brush, brushed on a little color, blue in the background to make look like a sky in the background. But yeah, and it just came together so easily. And then put a little bit of designer series paper in the back. And then I stamped the word birthday wishes, which is another one of the stamps that came with it. This one here, birthday wishes. So I just stamped that on a piece of paper, cut it out, and I used dimensionals to pop it up. You can kind of see here how it stands above the card. It's not flush with the card. So yeah, that was my alternative card that I made just with the stamp set. And when you join Paper Pumpkin, you will get a PDF tutorial from me that shows you multiple ways to use your new stamp sets and some of your own supplies. So once all of your Paper Pumpkin supplies are used up, you can still keep using your stamps to create cards like this one. Isn't that great? All right, let's keep going here. So we've got a bunch of hummingbirds, lots of different sizes, and the word beautiful. And then we've got our card bases. It looks like our card bases are all white. Sometimes they're not. Sometimes the card bases, you'll get 3 3 of one color, 3 of another color, 3 of another design. But it looks like this month they're all the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. And here's 2 more down here. Oh, these have a little circle on them. So these are a little bit different. And we'll find out what that circle is for. I'm sure it's for a wreath or something. And then we've got some punch die cut sentiments, the thank you sentiment. And I'm so grateful for you sentiment. And the have a Mother's Day. Have a Mother's Day, but then the part in the middle is blank, so you can put the word beautiful in there. I don't know if that is one of our stamps. I don't think it is. No, so there must be something else that's got the word beautiful somewhere. Oh, here on the hummingbirds. So you just would punch this little piece out. Like that. And that will go on this piece here. And it probably would want you to pop it up with dimensionals, but I have to look at the instructions to find out for sure. So let's look at the instructions. Then you just get a piece of cardboard, which this cardboard is good for using as a cushion for your stamps, because when you use photopolymer stamps, they don't have that cushion like the rubber stamps used to have. So just using that as a little cushion, it helps give you a better stamped image when you have something underneath you when you're stamping. So that's cardboard is good for that. And then we've got this little piece here that shows all of our artwork and all of our stamps. So let me show you that real quick. So let me turn it this way. So here's that flower that I showed you, and that little half flowery thing, and that almost looks like the center of a flower, and then leaves. And then here we've got our hummingbirds and the word hello, and have a happy anniversary and best wishes. So what I do with these is I use these to store my stamps, and I will cut this in half and use this to store my stamps. And what I usually put them in is a plastic bag like this, although this bag doesn't look big enough, but sometimes you'll get a plastic bag in your kit that is big enough. Otherwise, you can use these plastic cases that Stampin' Up! Sells, that they come in a pack of 4, I believe. And you can store them in here, and they've got a little sleeve on them so that you can put your paper inside of it here like that, and then put your stamp set inside, and then you know what's inside that case. So that's what I'll have to do with this one. Yeah, so those cases come in my online store if you're interested in ordering those. All right, let's get organized here. We need our instructions. I haven't come across those yet. Where? Oh, here they are. All right. So the instructions walk you through step by step how to make each card, each of the 3 cards, and you make three of each design. So this one says to first take the card that's got the circle on it, and then you're going to use the circle sentiment and 2 of the hummingbirds, and you're going to add dimensionals. So you can kind of see how it's got those little dots on there. That means to add dimensionals to the back of it. So we're going to pop those up. And then here it tells you use your ink spot. This is your ink spot once it's opened with the cover. And then use this little half circle stamp and put it on an acrylic block, and then stamp in kind of a circle of 2 of them opposite each other. And then put your little circle, I'm so grateful for you sentiment in between that with your 2 hummingbirds on either end, and then add your little embellishments. So here it tells you to use 5 embellishments, which are these little gems here. So we're going to put 5 of those, 3 at the top here and 2 at the bottom. And that's card number 1. For card number 2, we will again add some dimensionals to these pieces here that they're shown. The word beautiful, this little sentiment label, this little label that for the have a Mother's Day, and then the hummingbird. And then you're going to stamp 2 different stamps on the front of your card base, and then you're going to add your pieces that you had popped up with dimensionals on the front of that, and add 5 more embellishments so that you get that little hummingbird. Have a beautiful Mother's Day. And then the third one is the thank you one. And so again, you'll add your dimensionals to the back of your thank you, to the back of 3 of the hummingbirds, and then you'll stamp these flowers all along the bottom of your front of your card, and then you will attach them and attach your embellishments, and that's your third card. And what's nice about these instructions too is on the back, the very back, it will show you all of the components in the kit. So let me put it. And then also you can order, if you're a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you can order the add-on dies. It's an additional, I don't know, $12 or something like that, where you get these dies, and the dies are good for 3 months worth of Paper Pumpkin kits. So for example, this month, beautiful, the word beautiful die, you can use. And then last month, I believe it was the postage stamp die coordinated with last month's kit. And then these little tulip dies will coordinate with probably next month's kit. Or let me see, what month are we in? March? So it was January, February, March. So this must have been last month, and this must have been January, because January was the Valentine one, and that had the postage. So yeah. And it also tells you the coordinating colors down here. So if you want to make an alternative card like I made here, it'll tell you what colors you can use to coordinate, like balmy blue. I use balmy blue for the background for the sky. Coastal Cabana, early espresso, gorgeous grape I used for one of the flowers here. This is gorgeous grape, and for the beak. And then old olive, which I believe is the color of the DSP that I used. Peach pie, which was the wings, and petal pink, and pretty peacock, and smoky slate. So so that's really cool. I like that it tells you the colors in the kit so that you can coordinate and make some alternatives like I did. So that's it for the March Paper Pumpkin. I will post pictures of the completed cards on my Facebook page later on today. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks again for watching. This is Tammy with TammyLovesStamping.com, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Head to my website and sign up for my newsletter, or head to my online store and become a Paper Pumpkin subscriber. I will put the links down below in the comments. Thanks for watching, and God bless.